Today I'm talking about the word go. I know that can be very intimidating for a lot of people. Usually we associate it with like the Great Commission, where Jesus is gathering his disciples up for the last time, and he gives them this command. He says in Matthew chapter 28, verse 18, "All authority in heaven and on earth has been given to me. Therefore, go and make disciples of all the nations, baptizing them in the name of the Father and the Son and the Holy Spirit, teaching them to obey everything I have commanded you." This is a big call, and it is very intimidating for us. And what we usually do with this is we kind of put it in a box and say, this calling is for like those crazy dynamic personalities that can accomplish this task. Like it's a certain time and place and people, and it's for those like missionaries and the church planters and those pastors that can do this. And God's just gifted him to answer this call. It's not for me. I'm just too normal. I just can't do this. So we put it in a box and we miss out on so much that God has for us. And it's why a lot of times our relationship with God can seem so stale, and we can just seem so bored at church, because it's like getting ready for a marathon and you're waking up at 5 a.m. every morning and running all these miles and putting all these hours in training and just killing our bodies and drinking nasty kale smoothies and just getting ready, and we never actually sign up for the race. Like we never accomplish the task that we set out to accomplish. It's kind of the same way. Like all these things we talk about is really to answer this call. All the other G's play into this action point to say this is my task that God's given me. And we'll really see that this is for every believer when we see kind of the original text where Jesus actually is saying that the main command here, the primary command, is make disciples. It's not go. Go and baptize and teach. Those are all indirect commands. So it actually makes more sense to read it as while going, make disciples. We're just saying this is not like a specific time and event that I'm calling you to, which sometimes it will be. You know, you might be called to go somewhere like as a missionary, but this is saying every believer, while you're going through your day, you're going to have opportunities to make disciples. That's so important because every believer has a unique opportunity with a unique group of people. You interact with people that someone else doesn't, right? I mean, whether it's people that you go and work out with at the gym, or your coworkers, or people at your kids' schools. There's so many different people that you have unique opportunities to interact with that no one else does. That's why this is so important, where it's not just a specific time where you're going to go. No, it's like while you're going through your day, through your week, you need to look for those opportunities to make disciples. That doesn't take away the intimidation factor. It probably adds to it, right? Because now I'm saying everyone's called to it. So what do I do with that? Well, Acts, we see a little bit more insight of what Jesus is trying to communicate to his disciples. It's kind of the same time. We just get a little bit more insight. In Acts chapter 1, verse 8, it says, "But you will receive power when the Holy Spirit has come upon you, and you will be my witnesses in Jerusalem and all of Judea and Samaria and to the ends of the earth." So first we again see that every single person gets the opportunity to hear the gospel. They're going to start with their closest circles in Jerusalem, and they're going to expand it out to people that they before wouldn't even associate with, and then it's to the ends of the earth. But that first part is the key, that it's not us doing it, it's the Holy Spirit. And that should be a relief to us, knowing that it's not about us and our giftings and our skills. No, it's about letting the Holy Spirit work through us. And it's that daily surrender. This is a daily thing. And that's why Jesus says we need to pick up our cross daily. We need to die to ourselves daily. Because when we do that, that's when we allow room for the Holy Spirit to work through us. And that's when we see opportunities that we usually just completely pass by. Maybe it's a coworker that just seems a little off, and just saying, what can I pray for you about today? Is there something you need to talk about? And just allowing the Holy Spirit to kind of tug on your heart and to see those opportunities that we usually miss when it's just kind of our flesh and we're just trying to get our tasks done and those kind of things. So it's just being open to those opportunities. And 2 Corinthians chapter 5, Paul kind of reiterates this in a great way. In verse 16, he says, "So from now on, we regard no one from a worldly point of view." I love that, because I go throughout my day and I interact with people all the time from a worldly point of view. When I go to HEB and get my groceries, that employee is nothing more than an HEB employee, right? I mean, their task is to find my whatever I'm needing, my taco shells or something, right? And that's their task. And this is saying, like, that person right there, even though it seems insignificant to you, that person is deeply loved by God and needs to be reconciled to God. And you can have opportunities to impact even those people. So it's that simple, like asking random people that you interact with, how can I pray for you? Just allowing the Holy Spirit to use every single opportunity that presents itself during the day. And that can completely change your perspective on how you see your life. And the easiest way to start with this is with prayer. And I want to challenge you to think of 5 people that you know you're going to interact with kind of on a weekly basis. And no matter how small that relationship might seem, that you will just hand that over to God. And every day you just say a quick prayer for those 5 people and say, God, how can you use me today to show your love to them? And just give me those opportunities, and constantly have those 5 people on your heart. And when you do that, you'll continually just change more and more of how you see the world and the people around you. So figure out that top 5, pray for them, and watch God do amazing work through you.